In the world of espionage, truth is rare and trust is dangerous. Every conversation is measured. Every action is calculated. Every relationship is questioned. A spy is trained to survive in deception, to blend in, to observe, to influence, to disappear. They memorize cover stories the way actors memorize scripts. They learn to control their expressions. They learn to hide fear. They learn to hide attachment. But there is one thing no intelligence agency can fully train out of a person: the need to be loved. What happens when someone trained to manipulate emotions begins to feel them for real? What happens when a secret agent falls in love, not as a mission, but as a human being? Today, you will enter the hidden emotional world of spies and discover what happens when love enters a life built on lies. If stories about secret lives, hidden truths, and real human drama interest you, subscribe now and stay until the end, because some of these realities are more intense than fiction. A spy's life is often lonely. It's not the exciting loneliness shown in movies. A quiet loneliness. A heavy silence. Many agents live far from home, far from family, far from anyone who truly knows them. They celebrate birthdays under fake names. They build friendships that cannot go too deep. They attend social events while constantly observing and analyzing. They are present but never fully there. Their phone calls may be monitored. Their movements may be tracked. Their decisions may be guided by handlers they rarely meet. In this environment, genuine human connection becomes rare and precious. That is why love can feel powerful to a spy, sometimes too powerful. Romance has long been a tool in intelligence work. An attractive agent may approach a target. A relationship may be formed. Trust may be built slowly. Information may be gathered quietly. This tactic has existed for decades across many countries. It works because emotions lower defenses. People reveal more when they feel close to someone. They become less cautious. They want to impress. They want to trust. But this tactic carries risk for the agent as well, because emotions do not always stay fake. An agent may start with a plan, a script, a clear objective. Then real conversations begin. Real laughter, real empathy. The target becomes a person, not just an assignment. And that is where the danger begins. Imagine pretending to care for someone every day, listening to their fears, learning about their past, sharing meals and stories. The human brain does not easily separate acting from feeling. Repeated closeness can create real attachment. A spy may suddenly find themselves thinking about the person outside the mission, wondering if they are safe, feeling protective. Now the mission is no longer simple. Now there are emotions involved. And emotions can cloud judgment. A spy might delay reporting something. They might soften a detail. They might avoid an action that could hurt the person. Small changes can lead to big consequences. Intelligence work depends on clarity, on discipline, on emotional control. Love challenges all three. There have been cases where agents asked to be removed from assignments because feelings became real. Some were granted reassignment, some were not. Because missions often matter more than personal struggles. Now imagine a deeper scenario. An undercover agent lives in a foreign country for years. They build a full identity, a job, a social circle, a daily routine. One day they meet someone by coincidence, a coworker, a neighbor, a friend of a friend. No assignment, no target list, just life happening. They talk, they connect, they enjoy each other's company. For the first time, the agent is not pretending, not performing, just being human. That feeling can be addictive for someone who lives behind masks, but the truth remains hidden. The agent cannot share their real past, cannot explain sudden absences, cannot reveal the reason for strange behavior. The partner may notice small inconsistencies, unusual schedules, vague answers. Trust grows slowly, but secrets remain. Then one day an urgent order arrives. Return home immediately. Mission complete. New assignment waiting. The agent is told to leave within days. No time for explanations. No permission to reveal identity. Now the agent faces a silent heartbreak. To the partner, it looks like abandonment, a sudden disappearance, a broken promise. To the spy, it is obedience to duty. Many agents carry memories of relationships they could not continue, people they could not call again, lives they stepped out of forever. Some wonder if the person waited. Some hope the person moved on. Some never find out. But there is another side to this story. Sometimes the partner discovers the truth through news, through investigation, through accidents. Learning that someone you loved was living a double life can be shocking. Some feel betrayed. Some feel afraid. Some feel sympathy. Reactions vary, but trust is always shaken, because the relationship was built on incomplete truth. Now, consider an even more complex reality. Two spies from different countries meet without knowing each other's real roles. Both live undercover. Both hide identities. Both observe carefully. They connect as two ordinary people. The relationship grows. The feelings grow. Then signs appear. Odd questions, careful wording. Strange absences. Eventually, suspicion rises. When the truth surfaces, the emotional impact can be enormous. Love becomes tangled with loyalty. Affection becomes mixed with suspicion. Are the feelings real? Was any part of it an act? These questions can haunt both sides. In rare cases, both choose to maintain the relationship despite knowing the truth. But even then, pressure from agencies can interfere. Security risks are evaluated. Backgrounds are reviewed. Decisions are made by superiors. Personal happiness may not be the priority. There is also the darker possibility. An enemy service may intentionally target an agent using romance. A charming stranger may be assigned to get close, to gather information, to create leverage. If the agent falls in love, they may become vulnerable to manipulation. They might share something small, a detail, a schedule, a name. In intelligence, small details can connect into big pictures. That is why emotional discipline is emphasized so strongly in training. But training does not erase humanity. Even highly skilled agents feel stress, loneliness, and desire for connection. Psychologists who study intelligence personnel often note the emotional burden of double lives. Constant lying creates tension. Constant vigilance creates fatigue. Constant secrecy creates isolation. Love can feel like relief from that weight. A moment of normal life in an abnormal career. Some former agents have shared that relationships helped them stay mentally stable. Others say relationships created the greatest risks they ever faced. There is no simple answer. Love can be strength. Love can be weakness. Often, it is both. The public rarely sees this side of espionage. Movies focus on action, on gadgets, on danger. But the emotional reality is quieter and more complicated. Behind every coded message is a person. Behind every operation is a life. Behind every alias is a real identity. Spies do not stop being human when they accept the job. They still feel attraction. They still feel care. They still feel heartbreak. Some eventually leave the service to pursue normal relationships. Some stay and accept the sacrifices. Some try to balance both worlds. Few succeed without scars. Because secrecy has a cost. And love demands openness. When those two forces collide, something must give. In the end, the greatest conflict for a spy may not be against an enemy nation. It may be between duty and desire, between loyalty and longing, between mission and heart. Some choose the mission and live with quiet regret. Some choose love and accept the consequences. Some lose both and carry the silence alone. Their names may never be public. Their stories may remain classified. Their choices may never be fully known. But their emotions are real. And in a world built on secrets, real emotions can be the most dangerous secret of all. If this story gave you a new perspective on the hidden lives of spies, like this video and share it with someone who enjoys true mystery and real human stories. Subscribe for more deep journeys into the unseen world of intelligence and covert operations. Because the world you see is only part of the story. And behind the scenes, every heart may be carrying a secret. Not every spy love story begins with intention. Some begin with coincidence, a train ride, a conference, a shared workplace, a chance introduction through mutual friends. Two strangers meet and feel a connection. What neither realizes is that both are living, constructed lives. Intelligence history holds many stories that never became public. But former officers and declassified fragments reveal patterns that repeat. Two people meet under ordinary circumstances. Both are careful with personal details. Both avoid certain questions. Both disappear at unusual times. At first, these seem like personality traits. Later, they become clues. One former intelligence officer once described a relationship that lasted nearly a year before suspicion appeared. The couple avoided discussing work. They preferred neutral topics. Travel stories never had specific locations. Work schedules changed suddenly without explanation. One evening, a news report mentioned a covert operation in a foreign city. Both reacted, both recognized details, both went quiet. Hush. That silence revealed more than words. Weeks later, the truth surfaced through background checks. Both were intelligence assets working for different governments. Neither had been assigned to approach the other. Neither was running an operation on the other. It was simply chance. The discovery forced a decision: report the relationship or hide it. Reporting meant investigations. Clearances could be suspended. Trust from their agencies could weaken. Hiding it meant risk. Discovered later, it could look like collusion. They chose to report. Both were reassigned. Both were separated. Contact was cut. Years later, one of them admitted the hardest part was not losing the relationship. It was knowing the relationship had been genuine. No manipulation, no mission. Just two people who happen to live secret lives. Not all stories end with quiet separation. Some turn dangerous. During the Cold War era, emotional connections were sometimes exploited with precision. An agent might be identified as socially isolated. A friendly face would appear. Conversations would start casually. Trust would build slowly. Months could pass before any intelligence goal appeared. By then, emotional reliance had formed. A person in love often defends the one they love, even against logic, even against warning signs. There were cases where agents ignored security protocols because they trusted a partner. Some shared small operational details. Some revealed travel plans. Some mentioned colleagues. Each detail seemed harmless alone. Together, they formed intelligence value. In a few documented cases, this led to exposure of networks. Arrests followed. Careers ended quietly. The emotional damage often lasted longer than the professional consequences, because many realized they had not just been fooled. They had truly cared. There is another category rarely discussed: marriages built entirely under cover identities. Some long-term undercover operatives build full families as part of deep cover. Real homes, real routines, real children. The partner may never know the truth. For years, the relationship is authentic from one side and partially constructed from the other. The agent may grow to love their spouse deeply, yet still hide their true origin and mission. Then one day, the cover collapses. An arrest, a diplomatic dispute, a defection, a public exposure. Suddenly, the partner learns their spouse had another name, another nationality, another allegiance. Some partners feel their entire life was a lie. Others recognize the emotions were real even if the identity was not. Children in these situations often struggle the most. They must reconcile to realities about a parent, the loving parent they knew, and the secret agent revealed to the world. These stories rarely make headlines in full detail, but intelligence communities acknowledge their existence. Then there are cases of defection driven by love. An agent forms a relationship across borders. The connection deepens. Distance becomes painful. The idea of leaving the service begins to grow. Defection is not simple. It involves risk, suspicion, and permanent consequences. Some who defect for love are welcomed. Some are used for information. Some are never fully trusted again. There are recorded instances where agents crossed sides primarily to be with someone. Some relationships survived. Some collapsed under pressure. It's because love that begins in secrecy faces intense reality once exposed to normal life. A partner may realize they loved the mystery more than the person. An agent may realize they sacrificed a career for a relationship that could not handle truth. Another rarely discussed reality involves surveillance. When an agent falls under suspicion due to a relationship, monitoring increases. Messages may be reviewed. Meetings may be observed. Financial patterns may be checked. The agent may feel watched by their own side. This creates stress inside the relationship. The partner senses distance. The agent senses pressure. Trust erodes from both directions. There have been cases where agencies subtly encourage breakups to reduce risk. Transfers, new assignments, schedule conflicts. The relationship fades, not from lack of feeling, but from controlled separation. Some former officers later said this felt like emotional interference in personal life. Others accepted it as part of the job they chose. There is also the scenario where both partners know the truth from the start. Two intelligence officers in the same service may form a relationship. On the surface, this seems easier. Shared understanding, shared secrecy, shared lifestyle. But it carries its own strain. Both may be deployed at different times. Both may disappear without notice. Both may be unable to share mission details even with each other. Imagine loving someone and not being able to ask where they are going. Not being to know if they are safe. Not being able to call in emergencies. Some couples manage this with discipline and trust. Others find it too heavy. There have been successful marriages in intelligence circles, but many required one partner to leave fieldwork eventually. Because two people living high-risk, covert lives can multiply danger for a family. Then there are stories that end in betrayal. An agent believes they are in a loving relationship. Years pass, plans are made, a future is imagined. Then evidence appears that the partner was reporting to another service. Every memory becomes questionable. Every moment is re-examined. Was the first meeting planned? Was the affection real? Was any of it genuine? This kind of emotional betrayal can be devastating. Some agents requested desk roles after such experiences. Some left the service entirely, because trust once broken at that level is difficult to rebuild. Yet despite all these risks, love continues to appear in the world of espionage. New agents enter the field every year. New relationships form. New stories unfold. Training programs warn about emotional vulnerability. Guidelines exist. Protocols exist. But the heart does not follow protocol. It reacts to connection, to warmth, to understanding. And in a life filled with secrecy, genuine connection feels rare and valuable. One retired intelligence psychologist once summarized it simply: the more a life is built on lies, the more powerful truth feels when you find it in another person. That truth can draw people together even when danger surrounds them. Some of the most disciplined operatives in history still faced this challenge. Because emotional risk is part of being human. Technology has changed espionage in many ways. Cyber operations, remote intelligence, digital surveillance. But human intelligence still relies on people, and people form bonds. No algorithm can replace human relationships in intelligence gathering. And where there are relationships, there is always the possibility of love. Some agencies now provide psychological support to operatives managing double lives. Counseling, confidential guidance, emotional training. Not to remove feeling, but to manage it. Because completely suppressing emotion can be as dangerous as indulging it. Balance becomes the goal. But balance is difficult when stakes are high. A single relationship can influence decisions that affect national security. A single attachment can redirect a life. Still, many former agents reflect on their careers with honesty. Some say love was the one thing that made them feel real. Some say it was the one thing that nearly cost them everything. Both can be true. In the secret world, victories are often invisible. Failures are often hidden. But emotions are always present beneath the surface. A spy may master languages, may master tradecraft, may master disguise. But mastering the heart is another challenge entirely. And that challenge has shaped more intelligence stories than the public will ever know. Some end quietly. Some end painfully. Some end with choices that echo for a lifetime. Because when love enters a secret life, the mission is no longer the only thing at stake. Now the future of two lives can hang in thebulance. And sometimes, the most critical decision a spy makes is not in a briefing room. It is in a private moment with someone they care about. A moment where duty and desire stand face to face, and only one can win. In the shadowy world of espionage, where secrets are currency and trust is a luxury, can a spy afford to fall in love? Hollywood paints a picture of dashing agents falling for femme fatales, a dangerous but thrilling romance. But the reality is far more brutal. For a real spy, love isn't just a distraction. It's a vulnerability, a weakness that can be exploited with deadly consequences. It's the ultimate paradox. The very human connection we all crave becomes the greatest threat to an agent's mission, their life and the lives of those they swear to protect. Let's start with the most obvious danger: emotional compromise. Spies are trained to be masters of deception, to compartmentalize their lives and emotions. But love has a way of tearing down those walls. An agent in love might hesitate at a critical moment, their judgment clouded by concern for their partner. They might be tempted to share a secret, a small detail that seems harmless, but in the world of intelligence, even the smallest leak can unravel an entire network. Think of it as a crack in the armor. Your enemies are always looking for that crack, and a loved one is the perfect crowbar to pry it open. This isn't just a hypothetical threat. History is filled with tragic examples. Take the story of Clayton Lonetree, a U.S. Marine security guard at the Moscow embassy in the 1980s. He fell for a Soviet translator who was actually a KGB officer. Exploiting his loneliness and affection, she manipulated him into providing classified information. His love story ended not with a happy ending, but with a conviction for espionage and a long prison sentence. He wasn't a hardened traitor. He was a young man who fell in love with the wrong person in the wrong place. His emotions became the weapon used against him. Then there's the infamous honey trap, a tactic as old as espionage itself. Intelligence agencies have long used attraction and romance as tools for recruitment and blackmail. An agent, no matter how well trained, is still human. A carefully orchestrated romance can make them feel seen, understood, and loved, creating a powerful psychological bond. Once that bond is formed, the manipulation begins. The enemy agent might ask for a small favor, then another, gradually escalating their demands until the target is hopelessly entangled. Consider the case of Marcus Wolf, the legendary East German spy master. He perfected the use of Romeo agents. These were handsome, charismatic men sent to West Germany to seduce women in high-level government and corporate positions. These women weren't traitors at heart, eh? They believed they were in loving relationships. They shared secrets with their partners out of trust and intimacy, never suspecting they were pawns in a cold, calculated intelligence operation. When the Berlin Wall fell and these networks were exposed, the personal devastation was immense. Many of these women lost their careers, their reputations, and the love they thought was real. The psychological toll was catastrophic. This brings us to the immense psychological pressure on the spies themselves. Imagine living a double life where you can never be truly honest with the person you love most. Every shared moment is tainted by the secrets you hold. You have to constantly lie, not just about your job, but about who you are. This constant deception creates a profound sense of isolation. Even when you're with your loved one, you're alone with your secrets. This can lead to severe stress, anxiety, and paranoia. The agent is always looking over their shoulder, not just for enemy spies, but for the moment their two worlds might collide. And what happens when they do collide? The consequences are devastating. A loved one can become a pawn, a target for leverage. If an enemy agency discovers an agent has a family, that family immediately becomes a liability. They can be threatened, kidnapped, or worse, all to force the agent to cooperate. This is the spy's worst nightmare. The very people they might have entered the dangerous world of espionage to protect become the instruments of their potential downfall. The choice becomes unbearable: betray your country or sacrifice your family. There is no good outcome. Let's look at the story of Oleg Gordievsky, a high-ranking KGB colonel who became a double agent for Britain's MI6. He lived in constant fear for his wife and children back in Moscow. When the KGB grew suspicious of him, his exfiltration from Russia was a nail-biting affair. But he had to leave his family behind. For years, he lived in London, separated from them, never knowing if he would see them again. The emotional agony he endured was a weapon the KGB used, hoping to break him. While his family was eventually allowed to join him, the years of separation and fear left deep, permanent scars. So, is it ever possible for a spy to find love? Some agencies have tried to manage the risk. In some cases, spies are paired with other spies. The idea is that another agent understands the rules of the game, the need for secrecy, and the pressures of the job. This is the premise behind movies like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. But this creates its own set of complications. What if the two agents work for rival agencies? What if one is ordered to monitor or even eliminate the other? The professional can easily poison the personal, turning a relationship into a minefield of suspicion and betrayal. In the end, the life of a spy is one of sacrifice. They sacrifice a normal life, personal safety, and often the chance for genuine, unguarded love. The emotional detachment required to survive in the field is directly at odds with the intimacy and vulnerability that love demands. While we are captivated by the romantic image of the spy in love, the reality is a lonely, dangerous path. The greatest love stories in the world of espionage are often the ones that never happen, the connections that are wisely, if painfully, avoided. It's a stark reminder that in a world built on lies, the truth of love can be the most dangerous secret of all. Thanks for watching. If you found this glimpse into the shadows interesting, be sure to like and subscribe for more.